Happy Kerala Piravi to all. So actually, today we are officially starting our Guru Shishya Prelims Test Series 2023's revision component. So without much delay, we will be directly coming to the process of revision. So what we'll be doing is actually, we'll be doing the intense revision. Actually, the aim of this exercise is to train your eyes. When you read any text, you should focus on certain points, and you should identify the tricky nature of some questions, and you should not miss out some important points in any of the basic books. That's our main intention. So we won't be elaborating much on every question. Actually, this is a question based exercise, so we'll be quickly moving from one question to another question. In some questions which is self-explanatory, we won't be elaborating much, but in some other questions which need some conceptual clarity, we'll do in that way as well. And you should not write anything. We'll provide you the slides. Okay, just concentrate on the screen and what I'm narrating. Finally, you can see the slides for yourself. Now the aim is to quickly process things. Okay, your eyes should be sharp, your mind should be focused. Okay, we will be continuously moving, no much time will be spent on any of the slides or things. Okay, so we'll start. First of all, what we'll be doing is actually there will be three type of things. One is that we'll be spending some time on some topics where there could be multi-dimensional way of asking questions, like preamble. Like n number of questions could be asked from preamble. Like any time we see preamble, we could find out one new way of asking question. So this is the thing. So we'll start with this type of questions. Later on, we'll move to the top gear, where we'll be dealing with questions from different topics, like randomly. Okay. So just think how many times the preamble has been amended till date. Actually, when you see this question, it appears to be simple, but what will happen in the exam hall is actually we will be confused. Like this is a simple question actually to begin with. So how many times preamble has been amended? Once. Which year? 1976. So for what it has been amended? What was the amendment? What are the three words? Fine. Next question. Which of the following words have not been used in the preamble? Freedom. Freedom has not been mentioned in preamble. Okay. Now, what are the three forms of justice mentioned in the preamble? Social, economic, and political. Fine. Now, which of the following is not an objective preach of the preamble? Federalism. What about republic? What are the objectives of preamble? Fine. So you cannot spot federalism there. Okay. It's not mentioned directly or indirectly in the preamble. Okay. Now, consider the following statements. The word republic means that there will be a nominal head of the state. It means that the highest position in the state will be open to all eligible citizens. What could be the answer? The word republic means that there will be a nominal head of the state. It means that the highest position of highest important officers would be open to all. To only. Okay. Why one is false? One please, you can. Okay, fine. So there are two types of countries. Okay, one representative country for this is India, and the other representative country is USA. Okay, in the case of USA, what will happen? The head of the state is an elected head, but in India it could be a nominal head. But there is one twist. There could be one twisted way of asking this question. They can ask, in the context of India, the word republic means that there will be a nominal head of state. At that time, it will be true or false? True. So they could alter the phrases. You should be mindful of that. Now, which of the following terms in the preamble are not defined? Justice, fraternity, socialist, liberty. Socialist. Okay. Which was the year this socialist word got added? 1976. Now, prohibition of untouchability would come under which of the following concepts? Equality. No confusion, right? Now, who was entrusted with writing the original copies of the Constitution? You know what what was the intention? Like when we entrusted him, what was the specialty of that person? His calligraphy was too good. Okay, his handwriting was like exceptional. So, and you know what was the font in which our constitution is written? Whether it is like, it's actually italic. Okay. Now, the language and ideals of the preamble of the Constitution of India is influenced or borrowed from which of the following constitution? You should say some of the options. 1 and 2. Anybody for 2 and 3? Anybody for 1, 2 and 3? Anybody for 1 and 3? So you most people agree with 1 and 2, right? So actually there could be some questions like this where you have to think more broadly. Okay, actually we are mostly familiar with these two things like USA and France, and you are not that familiar with Australia. But you know, I'll show you one thing. The language of the preamble is borrowed from Constitution of Australia. Okay, the way it is written. Okay, the kind of language. So there could be some type of questions where actually you may need to like gain this knowledge from the mock test. Okay, for that I'm not asking you to refer so many books for this sole point. Okay, but when we do the revision component of any subject, when we do the mock test and all, we will be getting these kind of questions. So for that don't go for like referring so many books for this point. Okay, you should stick on with your basic books only. So the term and idea of the preamble were borrowed from the Constitution of USA. The ideals, the liberty, equality and fraternity were borrowed from like a French constitution, and the language of the preamble is borrowed from the Constitution of Australia. So how many values are explicitly mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution? How many values? Like in the previous question, you should be thinking more broadly. This is the problem that we encounter. Like we will be reading some books and we'll find some words attached to our mind, but we won't be thinking more broadly when questions like this comes. Just go for one more like guess. You guys, majority of you are telling which option? 4. So what are the 4 values that you guys could recollect? Loud. Okay. Fine. So what is the count finally? 7. Just count it and say. Loud. Sovereign, socialist, come on, count. Then. Okay, fine. So what is the count? You told me 7 before, right? So there are 9 values. Okay, sovereign, socialist, democratic, republic, justice, liberty. Actually, these all things are considered as values. Values means a like broad word. Okay, you cannot say that some word this is not value. You cannot say for any of these words. So your thinking horizon should be more broad to accommodate these kind of things. Like yeah, we'll move to next question. Which among the following fundamental rights is or are available to the non-citizens? Quickly process. Actually, these are basic questions. We should not be wasting so much of time in these kind of questions. Can somebody say which of the articles in the fundamental rights are available only for citizens? 30. Okay. You guys are clear with that concept. Then why are you wasting so much time on this? Okay, I'll help you. Freedom of speech is which article? 19. 19 is available for citizens only, or only for citizens, or only for citizens? So which option you could eliminate? So these 2 gone, right? Now remaining protection against self-incrimination. I guess you guys would be held up. 20 is available in those listed article? No. So anyway, this should be there, right? So like you got 3 left. Okay, then freedom of conscience. Which article? 21. 20. Conscience means what? Something associated with like our inner self and God, right? So it's about religion. Okay, so it would be 25, right? So 25 is available for citizens or non-citizens or both. So anyway, this should be there. So 2 and 3 should be there. So which you could eliminate? 4. See, actually, okay, then I'll come to that again. Non-discrimination matters of employment. What is the article? 16. That is available only for citizens. So this cannot be in the option. So actually what will happen is that in the pressure of the examination, what will happen is that we will find this article, like this option, like okay, like this is 20, article 20, so protection against self-incrimination, it's okay. But if we are not spotting this one, like 3 is also applicable for non-citizens, we'll end up marking wrong. This happens every time. This is the issue that most people will say that actually I have eliminated 2 options, again then I have marked wrong. This is because either because you lacked that concept clarity or because of the carelessness under the exam pressure. Okay. So you should be mindful when you do the mock test. From the very first test, you guys should be spotting each of the words and options. Otherwise, what the problem will happen is that actually when you read one question, you will be fixing the answer at the initial stage itself without reading the entire thing. You guys would be reading this much, but you won't be that much careful about this area. Okay. After reading this one, you guys, like your eyes would be like stuck on one or other options. Okay. You won't be like finding the loopholes or that other twists in like other options. So you should be mindful of such things. Now, this is the thing. So fundamental rights available to both citizens and foreigners. So all articles except 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. Okay. So conviction for offences. This is actually in the Lakshmikant or any basic books, normally they would have written this sentence: protection in respect of conviction for offences. But within that explanation is given. Okay. Nobody should be compelled to accept that, okay, I have done that crime. That's the protection against self-incrimination. Okay. You should be mindful of that. Then the remaining, okay, 25 you already spoke about that. Now, which of the following are not the features of the concept of equality before the law? There are 2 concepts associated with this. What is the next one? Equal protection of the laws. Actually, which is the article mentioning both these? Article 14. So which could be the answer? And you should be mindful of such words, not, okay, like that, cannot, not, such negations you should be mindful. A, here, A. Okay, we will come to the explanation after moving to the next question as well. So which is the answer of this question? Which of the following are not the features of concept of equal protection of law? Which one? Here. Are you okay with the speed? Because this should be the way. Otherwise, like, it will take a lot of time. This side, no response. A. Okay. So here you are saying that like equality before the law is a negative concept and equal protection of law is a positive concept. Now let me ask you, why equality before law is a negative concept and why equal protection of law is a positive concept? Can anybody volunteer to say the answer? Why equality before law is a negative concept? Okay. That means like should be treated alike. Okay. So that's a positive concept, like equal protection of law, right? Or equality before law. Equal protection of law. Equal protection of law means like should be treated alike. Okay, we cannot charge the same amount of income tax from the poor people. Okay, for the wealthy class we will be charging 30%, but for the poor people we may be charging maybe less than that, like much less than that. So these are affirmative actions. Also reservations. Okay, in case of reservations, what will be the thing? Actually, like non-creamy layer from the OBC, okay, and the SC, ST and other backward classes will be providing reservation. So the wealthy class cannot claim that, okay, we should also get the reservation. So this is equal protection of law. Like should be treated alike. So since it promotes government or it encourages government to do some affirmative actions for the backward sections and the poor sections of society, so it is a positive concept. And what's the problem with the equality before law making it a negative concept? Actually, it restricts the government from treating every person's in the same way or arbitrarily discriminating people. Government cannot arbitrarily discriminate people. Okay, because people will be under different circumstances. So government cannot provide some special privileges to some wealthy class, something like that. So since arbitrary this discrimination is not allowed for the government, it's a negative instruction for the government. That's why it's a negative concept. So that's the thing. Remaining, though we are just concentrating on this thing, you should be mindful of these features. Okay, these could be asked in any of the mock test as a statement. Okay, so you should not be confused with the features of, like, this is an easy statement. Okay, positive or negative we could easily recollect, but the features actually like we'll feel like some overlap. Okay, so you should be very careful with the such features like equality before law. It's an absence of privileges in favor of any person. That's why I told government cannot arbitrarily discriminate people. Okay, the equal subjection of ordinary law of the land administered by the ordinary law code. I mean, the laws are same for all. Then no person is above the law. So there is a famous concept associated with the equal protection of law. Can you recollect that one? Rule of law. Okay, so they will be asking you, rule of law is associated with one, equality before law, equal protection of law. So at that time you should not be confused. Okay, it's associated with the equality before law. Now the features of equal protection of law. It provides the equality of treatment under equal circumstances. If you are a wealthy class, you will be treated as a separate group. If you record affirmative actions, you will be treated as a separate group. Then law should be the same to similar applications who are similarly situated. Like if you are wealthy, income tax will be higher, like that. The like should be treated alike without any discrimination. Fine. Now these are the features. We have already explained this thing, but you should be mindful. Equality before law is of British origin. Equal protection of law is from American Constitution. Fine. The rest of the thing we have already explained. Now, which of the following statements regarding the preventive detention is incorrect? You should be mindful. Nobody should make this careless mistake in any of the mock tests as well. Okay. The incorrect, correct, does not, can, cannot, like that. You should be mindful of the keyword. If a person is arrested or detained under a law providing for the preventive detention, then the protection against arrest and detention under Article 22(1) and 22(2) shall not be available. How many of you can recollect what is being mentioned in 22(1) and 22(2)? No one. So that is one issue. Actually, that's the problem of like surface reading. Some points we should go a step further. Okay, at some articles, like the sub parts of that article. That I'll come to that point. Then a detainee under preventive detention can have no right of personal liberty guaranteed by Article 19 or Article 21. What is Article 21? Right to life. So they are telling that right to life, like a detainee under preventive detention have no right. Like, okay, so a person under preventive detention will be denied Article 21. They are telling. Okay. Then a person may be taken to preventive custody for only 3 months at the first instance. So can you spot an answer? A detainee under preventive detention can have no right of personal liberty guarantee. So you are telling that right to freedom and right to life would be denied for the person under preventive detention, but the question is of incorrect. So you are telling that statement is incorrect. So that person should be provided right to life. You are telling. Okay. So you guys would have focused on that that part. Actually, since I mentioned that it is right to life, you guys like thought more on that area. Okay, how can a person be denied right to life? Okay, this kind of thought process will be coming to our mind when we are in the exam hall. But you should understand that whom are the persons we would be like detaining to prevent them from doing some actions. There may be terrorists, right? There may be some infiltrants from like other countries. Okay, so you should be thinking broad. Okay, that is one thing. And before that, what are the two types of detention mentioned in Article 22? There are two types of detentions mentioned. Preventive and punitive. Okay, so punitive detention and preventive detention. Actually, most of these things are available for punitive detention. Okay, punitive detention means normal crimes, normal culprits and all. Okay, so one who do a crime. But preventive detention its scale is maybe much larger. Okay, if one person is inciting violence. Okay, if an influential person is keep on like inciting violence, which is causing mob lynching violence, which is having like a consequence of like to the unity and integrity of the nation, So he could not be released by providing this right to life, okay, because that will be a threat to the majority of the people's life, okay, that is one thing. Then this one, a person may be taken to preventive custody only for 3 months at the first instance, okay. Now we'll move to this thing. This is a part of our constitution, 22(1). I'll come to the answer of that question. Before that, you should have a look on this. No person, this is the 22(1), no person who is arrested shall be detained in custody without being informed. Like they're telling that if a person is arrested, he should be informed why he is arrested, then on what grounds like he is arrested, and he should be provided the right to consult a legal practitioner. That is 22(1). Then 22(2), every person who is arrested and detained in custody shall be produced before the nearest magistrate within a period of 24 hours. Okay, like we know that when a person is arrested before the end of 24 hours, you should be produced before the magistrate. And in the constitution, they are telling that specifically in 22(3), they are telling that nothing in clauses 1 and 2 shall apply to a person for the time being is an enemy alien. If he is an enemy alien, this is not applicable. Then if that person is detained for preventive detention, okay, in that case also this won't be applicable, okay. So now third, they are telling that when they are arrested in the first instance, I mean for the preventive detention people, in the normal cases they can be detained only for 3 months. Then if he is a further threat to the society, an advisory board will be constituted, and it will be having the membership of judges of High Court as well. Then they will be deciding, okay. So this kind of subparts you should be more careful about. So what is the answer for this? All correct, right? Right, all correct. So see, you know why I have taken this question. Normally what happens is that we keep on reading the basic books again and again, but such areas from where, see, that's why last session like I taught you about like taking the keywords and making your notes shorter. You know why I have spent lot of time on a small portion of that text? My intention was not to teach you the historical background. My intention was to just train you to make keywords and to focus only on the very, very important thing from where questions could be asked. And with that 2-hour exercise, what I have trained you is actually to do all the basic books in this manner. That was a one-time exercise, okay. Our intention was not to cover historical background, but not only about polity, but for any other subjects, when we read, we should read only the very, very focal areas, okay. In this part of fundamental rights, wherever it is mentioned in any of the basic books, lots of things are mentioned. But there are some areas where we just do surface reading like any other topic, okay. Actually, these areas should be more focused. Even though other areas like the basic articles about right to equality kind of thing, like we may be remembering, but some areas are often confusing, okay. So we should give more time or allocate more time to such areas. Preventive detention kind of thing, or the subparts of important article. Now this is the thing, article 22, it mentions about 2 types of detention, punitive and preventive detention, and most of the rights are available to punitive detention people, okay. Yeah, this is article 20, and you know what is the difference between article 20 and article 22? Which is the article which says about the rights of the person before he is getting arrested? Article 20. Actually, Article 20 is an instruction to our judiciary and executive. Actually, they are telling that actually you should be mindful of the rights of the person. Like a person has committed a crime 10 years before. At that time, the maximum punishment was say 10 years of being in jail. Now after 10 years, judiciary is taking up this case. And now judiciary cannot, now the laws could have been changed, and now for that crime now it is capital punishment. But at that time it was only 10 years, okay. It is because of our judiciary's delay the case got delayed this much. So the person cannot be given that capital punishment now. That is this thing. Commission of act or subjected to a penalty greater than that prescribed by law at that time. That is one thing. No person shall be prosecuted or punished for the same offence more than once. Okay. No person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. What is this thing? Self-incrimination. So that kind of alternate phrases also be kept in mind.